Hey, I like strawberries. It's so yummy. It's so yummy. Yeah, easy. It's so dirty. Careful, you can't breathe, careful.
Kenny! Beep beep! Ano ba yung manin? Ano ba yung manin? Uh-oh! Ayan, dapat trash.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Yeah, say welcome. So today is mine and Raphael's very first Mummy and Ravi vlog. Yeah. And we will be posting motherhood related and baby, almost toddler, baby / toddler related material every Friday. So if you're a mom, new or old, or you can just relate to motherhood, please go ahead and click the subscribe button. We would love for you to join us. I don't think he's going to sit still for very, very long, so I'm just going to pop him on the play table right here. Let's put the sound down. Oh, here we go. Okay guys, so today is more than just a 10 months update. It's really more of an introduction to myself, to Raphael, so you guys can get to know us a little bit. And like I said, if you're a mom yourself and you'd like to share your experiences, or give me some advice on things that I'm struggling with, because I could really use the help, please go ahead and pop your suggestions or advice in the comments down below. So let's get started. So Raphael has just turned 10 months old as of yesterday. So, and I'm going to sound like every other mom on the planet, but it really has gone so fast, and I cannot believe that he's literally 2 months away from becoming a toddler. Crazy fast. So I took him to the clinic about 2 days ago to have him weighed, and it was the first time after the 7th of Feb that I had weighed him. And I was a little bit concerned because I was hoping that he had gained a little bit more weight, but he was only at 8.7 kgs. I'm not sure what that is in pounds, but you can go ahead and calculate it on Google if you want to find out. But he's 8.7, and I was hoping that he'd be at least 9.5. So I was a little concerned, but they assured me that his weight was on track, or at least his growth chart was looking fine, and that I had nothing to worry about. But I definitely will be checking with the doctor when we have our appointment in June to just make sure that he is getting enough calories every day. What are you doing? Huh? What are you doing? Hey, you eating the block? Okay, so despite his tiny little frame at the moment, he definitely has a really big mouth. So as you can hear, he is just contributing to the video in his own way in the background. And it's safe to say he's a really happy, really lively little boy. He's definitely developed a very funny personality over the last few months, and he gives us lots of laughs during the day, so we definitely are enjoying being his parents for sure. Do you love your mommy? What's on your face? So next up, I want to talk about food and eating. I started weaning Raphael around 6 months. I know a lot of moms start earlier, but for me personally, I really wanted to wait until he was 100% ready and 100% mature. But I also wanted to wait until I felt emotionally ready for him to start eating. Sometimes as a parent, it's really scary when your children start moving on like so fast, or as fast as they do, and you're like, no, you know, I still want him to be a baby, don't grow up quite so fast. But I did start weaning him at 6 months. And currently he's a really good eater, and he really loves food. It took a couple months for him to really get into the swing of things, but currently he eats pretty much everything. He kind of eats what we eat during dinner time. He's definitely onto texture now. He can eat whole pieces of food, because even though he only has 4 little teeth, he can actually gum quite well, or chew down on his gums quite well. So I really don't have any problems with feeding. He's definitely ready for his breakfast, for his lunch, and for supper. I never have to force him to eat. He does lose concentration, you know, every now and then. Like any young baby or child will, and I kind of have to use some manipulation tactics, but for the most part he eats really well, and I don't really struggle to get food into his body. He hasn't had any aversions up until this point, nothing that I could tell that he's allergic to. Of course, we've stayed away from the recommended things like certain seafoods, nuts, honey, and so on. But in terms of egg, he hasn't really had any reactions towards egg. I've pretty much given him egg right from the beginning. Banana is not his favorite fruit, but he really loves strawberries, grapes, watermelon, that type of thing. So far I'm really happy with his eating, and yeah, hopefully it just stays on that track and gets better. You're crazy. Yeah. And next I want to talk about movement. So Raphael started crawling around 6 months. It was a bit of a weird crawl. He didn't really have the coordination down at that stage. He was doing a bit of a one-legged crawl, like a weird crawl, but around between about 7 and 8 months that started to come right, and he was then crawling normally by then. Currently he is cruising. He is standing on his own unaided or not touching anything for about 10 to 15 seconds. He's really proud of himself when he does it. He literally has the biggest smile on his face. It's so nice to see. He's really proud of himself for being able to do that, but I don't think that he has the confidence yet to take those first few steps, but I do think that they're going to come soon, and I hope, well, it doesn't really matter because he'll walk eventually, so there's no real rush, but I think he'll definitely walk before his first birthday, so I'm going to have my hands more than full in the next few weeks, but I'll be sure to share that with you when it does happen. So I saved this for last on purpose because it's really a sore point for me at the moment, and that is sleep. Sleep has been a sore topic in our house for the last 10 months. Sweetheart. Raphael has not slept for more than 2 to 3 hours at a time since birth. We are still co-sleeping, and we are still breastfeeding. And I think that those two things are probably a contributor to the fact that he does not sleep through the night. I made an attempt at sleep training about, let's say, 3 weeks ago. But I mean, I don't think that I'm ready to go through that process. My temperament is just not where it should be to deal with the crying and to be consistent throughout the night, because it does require a lot of getting up, and because he wakes up so frequently, I'm literally having to get up every 2 to 3 hours during the night to try and put him back to sleep, and the more times he wakes up, the harder it is to get him back down. So currently where we are is he's taking naps during the day, about 2 of them so far, but I think that's starting to taper off because his naps are becoming shorter, so I think in the next couple of months he's definitely going to be dropping a nap like they usually do. So I'm trying to make the most of the time now that he is napping well, but he will go down in his cot for a nap in the morning and in the afternoon, and usually at night I will put him down in his cot for bedtime at night, but he will then wake up after an hour. I will put him back. He will then wake up after 2 hours. I will put him back, and then when he wakes up for the 3rd time, I end up just putting him in bed with us because it's honestly exhausting and just such a disturbance for his dad who needs to go to work the next day. So I'm hoping that in the next few months he will have developed in terms of his sleep, and maybe be a little more ready for us to attempt sleep training again. But for now, I am still one tired, exhausted mommy who has not had solid hours of sleep, uninterrupted hours of sleep for a very, very long time. So that's where we are with sleep, guys. If you have any advice for me, or this story sounds similar to yours and you found something that worked for you, please go ahead and share it in the comments down below. I would love to try something different. So look who's back, everybody. He's feeling a little cranky. I feel like I say this a lot because he woke up early from his first nap, so he is not in the best mood right now, and I think he's a little frustrated with his car. He has this little car that he pushes to kind of practice his walking, and I don't think it's going so well today, so he's not very happy. You're not happy, sweetheart? You want to go down there? Okay, so lastly, to just end off this video, go down there. I just wanted to share some fun things about Raphael, just what he likes currently or what he gets up to during the day. Number one being he really likes to have his dad push him on his little toy car that he has. We have quite a bit of living room space and then a nice passage, so his dad loves to push him up and down the passage and around the living room when he gets home from work in the evenings. So that's one of Raphael's favorite things. He also loves to go out on the bike with his dad, just riding in the streets or to go and get groceries or whatever it is. He just loves the motion of being in the bike. He also likes to play with our Yorkie Fiona. Sometimes the two of them drive me crazy with all the noise, but they definitely have a cute little relationship forming at the moment, and I think currently he terrorizes Fiona more than anything else, but he really enjoys sharing her bed with her, teasing her with his toys. But yeah, I think they're going to be great friends going forward. And then second to that, he really just loves when his dad plays ukulele for him. I got a ukulele about 2 Christmases ago with the hopes of learning how to play it, and I never did. So now it's really just an ornament up on my living room wall. And Renato does not play ukulele either, but he loves to strum it, and somehow it is good enough for Raphael, and he just loves it. I have caught him falling asleep as well to his dad playing it, and he just lights up every time he hears those chords being strung. So those are a few of his favorite things. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the video over here. I really hope you enjoyed watching it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. See you next Friday. Bye. Sweetheart, what are you doing? Sweetheart? Oh goodness. This is his latest craze. Unpacking drawers, which takes a really long time to repack, by the way.